Hey all, happy Monday. It's Allison Christina. Welcome to the channel Blackbird Oracle if you're new, and if you're not, welcome back. I'm excited you're here. Thank you. As always, that's where I'm going to start, with so much gratitude for all of you for subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. It's amazing, and I'm just super stoked. And I know I say it every single time, but you know, I am who I am. I'm on to do weekly forecasts. Let's look at this week coming up. This new moon, y'all, was fucking intense, wasn't it? It was like the most powerful new moon I've felt in a long time. And I'll tell you, like, Saturday was purging. I was up at 3 in the morning, crying on and off all day. A lot coming back up to the surface again that was shit I felt like I had dealt with. And so you might be experiencing the same thing. And that is for us to come back to it for not just the understanding, but the inner and the overstanding, which I will talk more about. I think I'll do a little chat on that on IG in a shorter video, which is one of my goals this week. So anyways, cosmic energies. One thing I want to say, and I feel guided to say, is they are not in control of you. You are in control of you. And these energies, and myself and others, astrologers, which I'm not, but they're here for a tool to share information that help you navigate, because we're all affected, but it's within our control in how we work with the energies of the cosmos and the universe, okay? But with that, in the new moon, powerful. Over the weekend, it felt like there was some massive clearings going on within the collective, in the sacral chakra. It's very emotional right now, especially we have Venus, Neptune joining Venus in Pisces this week. So, and I believe today, it's very dreamy, lovey, feminine energy. It's lovely, right? And it helps, I think, support that love in the air that we're feeling. But we also have this masculine energy that feels like it's a little bit push and pull right now. It feels a little tense, a little anxious. So some things you might be experiencing yourself. It's like these next 2 weeks, last week in January, first week in February, within these new moon energies leading to the full moon, is going to be the breaking opening of all of this buildup since, at least since the beginning of the year, right? So you might be feeling this internally. Physically, sleep patterns might be off, really vivid dreams. You might feel a little spacey. You might feel tired. Make sure to be hydrated. What else? Ground, definitely. Maybe some senses of deja vu, right? To revisit those. And these patterns and cycles seem to be very linked during this emotional time to families, to relationships, love, romantic relationships, as well as parents, like I said, family, peers, friendships, looking at the patterns and the cycles, and really, like I said, moving through this process of standing from understanding to understanding to overstanding. And that's those of us who are awake and on the ascension highway. We are the cycle breakers. We are the black sheep. We're the ones kind of that have really been through a lot of isolation, because it's kind of needed, right? I tell clients and friends, it's elevation requires isolation, and because it's all about learning you. Know thyself. So remember, everything starts internally, but you could be seeing this push and pull externally in these relationships. You could see people being very reactive. It feels, again, very tense, right? And we can see things going on in the media. It's important to shut that shit off and not buy into the garbage that is being fed to the masses. Again, it's that isolation. And isolation doesn't just mean other people. It means TV. It means shutting out all the noise and really hearing the truth that comes from within and above and below. As within, so without. As above, so below. You all, hopefully you do. I'll post it on IG, the saying, but it's words to live by, kind of like the 4 agreements. So you might also feel like you want to rest, but then you feel a need to get things done. And remember, rest. This is a time that if you can get the rest in, and that solitude and that quiet, please do. I know it's winter here in the United States, but if we can get outside at least and ground and bond with Gaia, right? Really dig deep our roots into her, because we're all healing together. And that's part of that sacral chakra purge and clearing. It's not just then with individuals and collective, it's with Gaia as well. My guides were saying that if it's felt very quiet, it's the calm before the storm. So I feel like, again, this week, next week, these next 2 weeks are going to be where the shakeups, the tower moments, surprises, breakthroughs, and breakdowns are going to be happening. However that manifests, because each of us are in different places on our journey. I think we're going to see it individually, and we're going to see it collectively. We are in for some really eye-opening experiences as a human collective, and I don't know about you all, but I'm super stoked about them. So I think that's it. Soul contracts too are a big thing right now. That might be part of the vivid dreaming that you're doing, in that a lot of soul contracts are being closed. Remember, everybody has free will, and free will is funny because eventually we're all brought right to where we're supposed to be, but how long that takes us is dependent on our ability to choose, and every moment is a choice. And it feels like we are all at a place in some way, shape, or form, and together in this together, right, where we're at a fork in the road of repeating or not, evolving or remaining. And with these soul contracts, a lot of them are being renegotiated. They're being ended. I'm done. You get free will and you do your thing. I'm moving on. And a lot of new ones coming in. And I think, especially in terms of romantic relationships, soulmate, twin flame, divine connections, that's where a lot of these surprises are going to be. I think, I don't know, it feels like in terms of love, moving us into February, which is a 2-month, it's we have a lot of kind of big moments coming in over these next 2 weeks. So that's it for just kind of an energy update, what I've been channeling and kind of being discussed in my board meetings, as I like to call them. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's get into the cards. Remember, it's a general reading, so take what resonates, take it as it resonates, and leave the rest. I'm going to look at, excuse me. I'll grab a drink of water. Thank you. I think what I want to do is look at the energy overall. We're going to look at what's coming up from the past. what's coming up to be healed, what's being revealed during this new moon. Then we'll look at the energy challenging us, the energy supporting us, and what's incoming. And then I feel kind of guided to look a little bit at masculine, feminine, because there seems to be a little bit of a disconnect right now. Little bit, and like I said, that push and that pull. So let's dig in. Team, messages for the highest good of the collective for this week, last week of January. What energy is coming up from the past to be healed? What energy is being revealed collectively to be healed? Revealed to be healed. Ooh, okay. I like this. Angel of Strength. Solar plexus energy. And, as we clear the sacral, we move up into the solar plexus. I feel like, depending on where you're at the journey, you might be a lot of, at least the collective, that energy that I pick up for. It could really be more in this solar plexus energy. What's coming up is your inner strength. You might be feeling tested. This really could be a time where, like I said, the past is coming back. There's a change too here with this 5. The past is coming back up to be revisited. Everything is a spiral, right? And it could be now that the strength, the willpower, the confidence is being tested. Have you kind of found the balance, tamed the beast within? Masculine, feminine. For some, it could be some balancing of these energies that's coming up is old wounds. Definitely collectively. Here's the thing. We go through these things individually, these experiences, but we're all one. We're all connected. And they're all embedded in the collective consciousness. And so whether or not you physically have experienced something doesn't mean that you're not carrying the energy, because it's part of the collective. Okay. So when we look at masculine and feminine energy, we have healing to do as a collective. We have healing to do within ourselves, and that's where it starts. And I've talked about how we start by doing the healing independently, and healers are people who have done their own healing. Okay, legit, y'all. Like, trust your intuition, because someone who's telling you they can heal you is not. They can't. A healer understands by doing their own healing that you're the only one that can heal you. Okay. And I don't know why they're taking me. I'm going on the tangent, but that's what's going to happen today. Then let's roll with it. But this angel of strength being revealed is a lot of revealing the inner strength. Maybe revealing some shadows so that we can come into this balance of all of it, head and heart, of masculine, feminine energy. It's really beautiful. There is a lot of healing energy available. There is a lot of light all around us. There is light on the ground. There is light surrounding all of us. So really, to me too, this angel of strength being that suggests that, that you are divinely protected and shielded and loved and supported. And it's, for some, maybe what's challenging is that spirituality change, that next level of expansion. I know through my journey, one thing with being tired is whenever there's kind of this level up, it really can be very, very exhausting and draining. And even though it looks like to the outside world, or even you might feel like I'm not doing anything, you're working. You are working even when you're resting. So past energy with the angel of strength coming up to be revealed is definitely multiple messages that we'll tap more into. Let's look at what energy might be challenging us this week. What energy might be challenging the collective this week? Whew. Okay. All right. Definitely. The 2 here, it to me is could be coming from an outside source, but it's also, again, this kind of light and dark energy of, see the card? I'm just getting this very much, again, with both of these cards, it feels like this week is going to have a lot of shadows coming up, a lot of shadow work needed, a lot, like I said, of moving from understanding into understanding and overstanding our experiences, our feelings, a very emotional time. So, externally, though, like I said at the beginning, what I've been picking up is this, you might be seeing it in relationships that you might be starting to see that people who you thought were down for you aren't really down for you. That's definitely coming through for some. It's a little bit too, I think, of the belief system that breaking down the belief system that there's something better outside of us, that what we're looking for, or that fulfillment is something outside of us. It's absolutely not. There is nothing external that will fill any holes that are internal. I feel like that's a little bit for some. Again, it's this, feels very like the push and pull, right? Of light and dark, masculine, feminine, internal, external. So, as I say, take it as it resonates. Let's look at what energy might be supporting. What energy is supporting us this week as a collective? What energy is supporting us this week? The energy supporting the collective this week. They're like, you're always supported, all the energies, right? What energy is supporting the collective? Thank you. Whoa. Okay. Oh, y'all. All right. I can't even, because this is contracts come out, right? And I mentioned that, soul contracts. So I feel like it coming in as supportive energy is all about new contracts, people coming in that are assisting, that are for your highest good. Well, it's all for your highest good. That's let me get that out right. Higher vibrational contracts, experiences, blessings versus blessings. So we've learned our lessons, right? And we've ended those contracts. And now we're in this place of new coming in. And again, those surprises, those breakthroughs, you might feel guided to do new things or go to events that are kind of something you wouldn't do in the past, but because you're being guided to contracts that are magical, with the magician in the mirror. Their soul contracts with this infinity symbol above the head. They're like-minded. They're higher consciousness relationships, if that makes sense. They're balanced. See, both of these the scales are balanced. What we see is a true reflection with these individuals that are being brought to us. Also, then we get woman holding a heart, and I don't typically I wouldn't normally pull all three, but I'm going to let them because they go. It's clear what Spirit wants to share is this, and these are 2 8s. So these are about unconditional love, relationships that are authentic, that are magical, that are soul contracts with individuals that are on our level, that are going to help us in our evolution and in our growth, but in a very positive way. Okay, that was awesome. And I love this too, like the contract's a 6, right? And the scales, I mentioned balance is coming through, but we have masculine and feminine too. So what's supporting is these new, what's supporting is, I feel like your contract to yourself, the commitment to work on yourself, to open, to see that you are the magic. Again, it's not outside of you. Balancing your masculine and feminine energy. And then because of this work, you've got these new relationships, new experiences coming in, manifesting into your physical world. Could be for some work contracts, incoming energy. What energy might be showing itself or showing up this week for the collective? Incoming energy for the collective. Incoming energy. I'm trying. See that, Il? Okay. Wow, okay. Interesting. Okay. We get financial constraints. And then we get the 7th chakra. Okay. It's almost like what's going to be incoming is this kind of realization that what's outside of us is not where the treasure is. It's not where the value is. And not that others and everything is valuable. Everything is priceless, right? And again, it's this kind of balance coming in. Maybe a little bit of crown chakra openings, the awakening, epiphanies to really what matters, or that we were never as broken as we thought we were. Pretty interesting. So I love the angel is looking at this empty, this empty cupboard, this empty safe or bank. It's right next to this as the challenging. It's almost like seeing that it's nothing outside of you that fills this up. It comes from here. It comes from spirit, your higher self. higher vibrations, love. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's break it down a little more. Let's look at it. Let's unpack it a little bit, huh? So let's talk about this angel of strength as what's coming up, what's being revealed. Tell us a little bit more about this angel of strength being revealed, something that needs to be healed. Thank you. Emotions, definitely. The Knight of Cups came up. So it could be what's coming up to be healed is some emotional stuff. Could be, of course, internal, but external. It could be a masculine. We talked about this kind of masculine, feminine energy right here with inner strength, but also seeing it in the external. Definitely be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe a little bit of seeing where we've held ourselves, how emotions where our emotions have maybe held us back, where it's something with emotions coming to the surface. Let's see a little more. Whoa, that just fell just like that, right? Six of Swords. Calmer waters, movement. Could be for some of you, some things coming up from the past that kind of, there's this like emotional immaturity coming through of kind of growing up emotionally. That's where we find that balance of masculine and feminine. Maybe coming up is this, how these emotional wounds have affected the thoughts, with this being the Six of Swords for some of you. Could definitely be how, relationships in the past, maybe because of the hurt, there's something coming through with emotional pain. And that is what's coming up, is how the past pain has affected the movement forward. So wherever you're feeling stuck, it feels like that's what's coming up, is this understanding, reflecting on how it's all tied together, the emotions, the mental, and our actions. Tell me about this envy and the challenging energy this week. Envy and the challenging energy. What's this envy about? The challenging energy. Okay, Queen of Swords could be an air sign. That's some people showing up, so it definitely can be representative of you or people that you are dealing with. This bitch is all about truth, y'all, right? And that maybe is what it is. Maybe what's challenging this week is you standing your ground is pissing people off. Okay? It also could be what's challenging is you seeing the truth of you. So that's coming through as well. Seeing again this truth that you are, everything is inside. There's nothing outside of you that is better. You could be challenged with having to feel a little cold, a little bit of, turning your back to people, because I'm looking and her back is to her. Like, it's almost, and the two again is standing out of just like two people. It feels like it's some energy of, there goes my throat chakra. Yeah, of speaking truth. It could be challenging because there's a little fear there. I know that for me, that's a big problem. It's not. It's a fear. I was working on my birth chart with my soul sister. We were looking at some things, and it's like a massive phobia, past life. And so it's definitely something that I overstand and am also working through, is this really speaking your truth. And not worrying about what other people think. So you could be challenged with that as well this week. Again, like I said, you could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but it doesn't have to be. Let's ask a little more about this Queen of Swords. Tell us a little more about this Queen of Swords. Ten of Cups. Okay. So it could be too dealing with some jealousy. Like, it could be that others see you as this kind of Queen of Swords, doing her thing, speaking her truth. Maybe she's a little bit of a bitch, but she's got her shit going on. Like, she's focused and creating, and maybe a little bit of not worried about what's going on in the outside world, and that's not well received all the time either, right? Like, I don't know why, y'all, but people love to be all up in each other's business, and when you kind of do your own thing, it really can be very triggering for them. That Ten of Cups there, it really comes through as like, what's challenging might be more external than internal for at least a group of you. Just might be dealing with people outside of you when you're just trying to like do your thing and stay focused. Distractions maybe this week you might find. Hearing that a little bit. Be careful. Use your discernment of really where your time goes. They're flying everywhere, but I didn't ask a question yet. But we're going to go up to this contract. So let's look at this contract, which is the supporting energy. So this is some kind of relationship. I feel like it's internal, of course, of like stepping up your game with yourself, your commitment to yourself. But I do feel it's external as well. People coming in kind of assist you, to support you wherever you're at on your journey. Tell me about this contract a little more. Contract for the collective is the supporting energy. What else can you tell us? Yeah, 3 of Pentacles. So again, it's something in the physical coming together, working together. Could be, there's a lot, like we've talked about with soul contracts, soul families, soulmates, twin flames, divine connections, and not just love, partnerships, working together. So there's a shift, there's something that's very supportive right now this week for you. Go to your go-tos, you know, the people that really do support you, that see that you're magic, that love you unconditionally, that want to see you succeed. It feels like maybe there's a little bit this week of reflecting on, you know, like I said, who's down for you and who isn't. And it's been a consistent big theme this month is really cutting the cords, ending these contracts for people who just are where they're at. And most we know are asleep, and we get it. But part of the raising of the consciousness and how we teach is the boundaries. It is the, I can't help you if you're not willing to help yourself, you know, and that sometimes is like this. And, right? It is. It's sometimes you got to be in that King, Queen of Swords energy, and it does trigger people. And so what I'm seeing as supporting energy is really, it is these contracts that have been appearing. You might, and again, reflecting, I'm hearing reflect. Look at all the people in your life and really take a good, cold, detached, right? Look at it from above of how your interactions look when you're hanging out, talking on the phone. What do those conversations look like? However it is, and really have some truth talk with it of what's working and what's not. Let's look at this Magician in the mirror with this contract and 3 of Pentacles. Magician in the mirror. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to take the only one that came up right. 2 of Swords. Okay, so stand still. I mentioned earlier, calm before the storm was what I was hearing. So you might feel like things haven't moved, that maybe you haven't been seeing these people show up in your physical, but the universe is saying in this supportive energy role that they're coming. There needs to be possibly some clearing. Again, like I said, with this 2 of Swords here and our challenging energy down here, I'm getting a little bit of cutting cords. Seeing things more clearly, of definitely people. If we're seeing Queen, King, lots of people involved with this kind of energy I'm getting. A really clear look at people about who sees you, who accepts you. This woman holding a heart is coming through. It's just who loves you unconditionally, allows you to just be your magical self. And it's about investing time with those people and not the people who bring you down, right? Like I said, who aren't down for you. So movement forward's coming. Here's the Chariot sitting at the bottom. And like I said, it's almost like this calm before the storm energy. where I feel like this is about to break open. And again, however it resonates for you, it could be work. Not picking up a lot of career. We'll see what happens with this financial here in the incoming energy. Let's look at this woman holding a heart. Five of Swords. Yeah, there's a lot. I'm seeing swords. It's the most common suit. So headspace. People who fuck with your heart and your head. I don't know why. That's what's coming through. Is it's time to really have a good, long, hard look at this. Keep going there. Who's down for you, right? And what's worth fighting for? What's been working and what hasn't? Who's been working? Who hasn't? That kind of energy coming through. It feels like with this coming out as a supporting energy to clarify the woman holding a heart is, again, this, really looking at soul family relationships of who's turned their back on you, who's opened their heart to you. It's I think a lot of times, and I know a lot of times what happens is we have been raised in chaos and darkness and trauma and abuse and pain and suffering, and it's become the norm. It has. And people who don't bring drama into our lives, who bring unconditional love and magic, can make us feel very, very uncomfortable because we're not used to it. I know that just from becoming, right? And many of you do too, of how uncomfortable awakening is and ascension. These transformations are not easy. They're not. It's very, very hard to kind of have everything erased and then rebuilt. And the collective is going to go through this. Many of us have already been through it because we are the gatekeepers and the way showers. We are the lighthouses, right, for what's to come. But it's very much this, sometimes you got to just say it's not even worth it. Some people, I'm sorry, it was my Queen of Swords, you can't keep battling for. You can't keep fighting for them. Because you're just fighting to keep repeating. It can be very uncomfortable to open up to something completely different that is unconditional love, acceptance, non-judgment, safe place, right? All right. So let's look lastly at financial constraints in the incoming energy with the crown chakra. Let's see what this is about. Tell us about this incoming energy with the financial constraints. Financial constraints as the incoming energy. Can you tell us about this? Whoa. Okay. So incoming, we get the Page of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign. Again, we got another court card. Could be an offer coming in, but it's not. We get the Five of Swords. It's not all it's cracked up to be. When I'm clarifying this with this as incoming energy, it almost feels like this might be incoming, might be something that at first seems like a great offer, but it's not. It's not going to bring fulfillment. I think that's where this is coming in, of trusting your intuition, trusting your guidance, you know, really using your discernment, talking to spirit. You might not want to jump right on this offer, whatever it is. See that on the bottom? This to me is very similar to this financial constraint energy of lack, poverty, victim mentality, being left out in the cold. It could be someone who left you out is coming back, but it's not. It's not what you think it is. Something like that. Let's talk about this crown chakra. Tell us about this crown chakra. It brings noise with it. Or okay. Okay. So we get, clarifying this crown chakra, we get the High Priestess. Yeah, there's something underlying to this Page of Pentacles coming in. And it's about trusting your intuition, talking to spirit, talking to someone you trust, maybe, a guide. King of Pentacles came too. It's almost like there's something better. Like Spirit's saying there's something incoming, and it might feel like, yeah, but then it's like, wait, there's something off with it. King of Pentacles. Tell us a little bit about this King of Pentacles here. So the page to the king is completely different. Eight of Swords. Interesting. You know what I'm getting with this Eight of Swords? And it's not, it's like this is what I'm seeing is you can't see this yet. This more grounded, more mature, like better deal. I'm almost getting like, it's not like this is about you being stuck as much as it's just something you can't see yet. It's like, it's almost like two things happening or incoming. Like you're going to have choices, and it could be work for some. It could be relationships, romantic. Even, you know, partners are big right now. Tell me about this Page of Pentacles a little more. Look at the Eight of Cups. Walking away. Okay. All right, well, here's what's coming through. Is it feels like this financial constraints doesn't feel so much about money coming in. It feels like something coming back, something being fulfilled, something that was missing. This to me is something that was missing, something you felt you lost or you were lacking is coming back. And it could be someone, and it definitely feels like someone, masculine energy, but take it as it resonates. Definitely someone who maybe caused a lot of drama in the past. This is really interesting what's coming through. So I'm just going to, but they've walked away from that, and that's why they're coming here. But you, I'm getting, maybe because of the past, going back to this, what's being healed, because of the past, maybe you can't see that this person has changed, that they've grown up, that they've matured from the Page to the King. It might be a little bit of what's incoming is a surprise that someone went from lack to enlightenment. Ooh. I feel like that's what it is for some of you, is you can't see yet that someone you thought would never change has changed. And they're coming back. And in the interim, could be this week, the next 2 weeks, communication. There's this other stuff I feel like going on that should be the focus, the inner strength, working on your balance, of course, on you, and trusting with this High Priestess and this 2 angels showing up, Archangel Uriel and Angel of Strength, trusting the divine, trusting the connection, trusting is coming through. Focused on self. I'm seeing like this, focusing on your truth, your happiness, on making movement forward, balancing your own energies, inner energies, on knowing who to work with and who doesn't, and who not to, in this supporting energy. And what's going to be incoming is this change. And again, it feels very much like a change. Someone has changed. It could also be you. All of a sudden, you have, near the end of the week, over the weekend, you're feeling more like this, more mature. We've moved away from emotional immaturity. We're feeling balanced. We're feeling divine. And we're feeling like, whatever's been left behind is left behind for a reason. It might feel like you've gone from this to this week or through this journey. This might be a culmination for many of you with union within. So again, take it as it resonates for you. I'm just going to end with just a last message for the week, kind of a theme or message from Spirit before we go. Last message for this week, last week of January. All right, you guys. So, and it's why I like to shuffle, even though sometimes it takes a little bit longer than having them pre-pulled or whatever, but you can't make this shit up when they fly out. So, observe and soulmates. This is really about, again, just being in a place of reflection, trying to stay centered, grounded within yourself, resting, hydrating, doing your healing, really getting clear on what's working, what's not, right? And allowing the universe to bring you what you've been putting out, which for many is going to be a soulmate. And I love this 5 here because, again, there's going to be some changes, some surprises. And I can see that in the incoming energy if it resonates as, and you're watching for a relationship of there is going to be some big surprises. And, one thing I thought of the other day, and my random thoughts while driving, was how can we say that people don't ever change? Because I bet you guys have, right? So we always have to, there goes that inner standing that leads to our overstanding, right? We understand, people can change, but most of the time we walk around going, no, he's never going to change. People don't change. Nothing changes, right? Well, nothing changes if you don't change. And so then we understand through our experience of changing and transforming internally to overstand what others are experiencing and bring in that compassion and that forgiveness. So with that, I'm getting that's you being in that place this week of more of an observer, calm before the storm, really, reflective, some truths with self, like I said, and allowing this to come in. And this isn't just romantic. This goes back to what we were talking about with the supporting energy of really getting clear on who's down for you and who's not, and letting that shit go. Letting them go. And I don't care how fucking cold it sounds, you guys, because you're most important. And you can't, this is how we keep repeating. If we don't set those boundaries and say, I have to create space right now, we're not helping, we're enabling, and that has nothing to do with unconditional love. So I'm going to leave it there. I think that's it. If it resonated and you want to get into your own situation, I am available for private readings. So hit me up, blackbirdoracle@gmail.com, and that'll be in the description box. And I hope you all have an amazing week. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have a question or email me anytime. I'm here to assist. And so with that, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And as always, I'm sending you shit tons of love, light, and gratitude. Bye, y'all.